Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. President Irfan Ali has reaffirmed that economic growth does not need to come at the expense of climate action. Canadian investigation begins work on Adriana Young's case today. 25 Guyanese women will be inducted in a leadership network on Saturday. And Guyanese writer Subra Singh has won the 2025 Caribbean Commonwealth Short Story Prize. Amid Guyana's rapid economic growth, President Irfan Ali has reaffirmed that prosperity does not need to come at the expense of climate action. Delivering the keynote address at the inaugural meeting of the Forest and Climate Leaders Partnership in Georgetown, President Ali emphasized that economic development and environmental protection can go hand in hand.
Our message is simple. Prosperity and forest protection are not mutually exclusive. In our 15-year journey, we have made mistakes, but we have also learned what works and what doesn't.
The partnership, originally initiated in 2022, brings together 32 forest-rich nations advocating for stronger climate finance to support sustainable development. President Ali, who has given himself the nickname Forest Man on the global climate stage, urged the delegates to develop actionable measures that will see the member countries benefiting from the climate financing they deserve.
SCLP must help create and deliver a full menu of financing options to unleash private and public investment. Jurisdictional carbon credits, results-based payments, concessional finance, and bold ideas like Brazil's Tropical Forest Forever Fund. These are some of what is needed. Second, international partnership has been central to our story from the beginning. While the majority of the credit for Guyana's progress goes to the people of Guyana.
Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat also addressed the opening ceremony, calling on countries to protect their forests, which he described as vital to life on both national and global levels. He stressed that reducing deforestation is a shared responsibility and urged collective advocacy. UK High Commissioner Jane Miller praised Guyana's leadership in forest preservation and encouraged other nations to follow its example. Guyana remains a global leader in climate action. Its low-carbon development strategy 2030 has delivered real results, including the issuance of 33.4 million carbon credits under the R3 system, making it the first country in the world to do so. Thus far, Guyana sold about 30% of its credits, earning a minimum of US $750 million in a sale to Hess Corporation. The retired Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigator, Leonard McCashen, has officially begun working with the Guyana Police Force in the ongoing probe into the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young. Attorney General Amna Ali confirmed during his issues in a news program last evening that McCashen begins work today. On Monday, Crime Chief Wendell Blanham told reporters the investigation is currently in the evidence-gathering stage, with multiple theories being explored and tested against the facts. Investigators have already contacted Adriana's relatives and plan to interview at least 4 individuals who were present at the Doubleday Hotel pool on the day she went missing. Blanham emphasized that the best available team has been assigned and that the investigation remains objective and thorough. Adriana was found dead in the hotel pool on April 24th, a day after she was reported missing. The pool had previously been searched without success, raising further questions about the timeline of events. The owner of the Doubleday Hotel, Bojrain Bola, was held, but later released with restrictions placed on him, including a prohibition on leaving the jurisdiction. He's also required to report to the police station daily, Blanham noted. To date, 125 trailblazing Guyanese women have been inducted into a network that champions women leaders across the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. The network was formed through the 25 Influential Women Leaders Award, one of Guyana's top honors, which recognizes women who are driving innovation and transformative change in their fields. Co-creators of the award, Michelle A. Nicholas and Lindell Danzy Black, visit Ignite's studio today to share insights on the program's impact and the upcoming 2025 ceremony.
25 Influential Women Leaders Award was really birthed out of this profound need for visibility for women leaders across Guyana beyond the traditional recognitions that usually occurred. We recognized that women were not being seen in the way that they should be seen across industries and across sectors. And so Lyndall and I got together, and we, really recognizing that we have been awarded globally, internationally, and locally for the work that we are doing. We wanted to ensure that we can pass that along to others, and so the 25 Influential Women Leaders Award was birthed.
The 6th anniversary gala takes place Saturday, May 17th at the Georgetown Marriott Hotel and promises a night of celebration, networking, and recognition. The event will honor 25 visionary women shaping Guyana's future and will bring together industry leaders, government officials, and corporate stakeholders for a memorable evening of empowerment. This year's honorees will also have the exclusive opportunity to apply for the Women's Leadership Program, which aims to further develop their leadership capabilities and amplify their impact.
What we found was we were honoring women leaders, and leadership for each of us is different.
Yes.
So you might be right up here on the ladder and I'm down here, but we are all leading because we are leading every day and we are getting better every day. And so we found that we had women at different rungs of that ladder. And so there was a need for us to help some women to work towards executive presence. And that's what the Women Leadership Program is about. The launch of that program saw the Minister for Tourism from Barbados literally being our guest speaker, because we had felt that she's one of those women who have reached to that executive level. And as we launched forward, we wanted women to see where you can get.
Danzy Black further re-emphasized that the event is more than just a ceremony, but an inspirational one which creates opportunities for networking and lasting connections.
I think we can't stop talking about what you get in the room, right?
Yeah.
So inspiration for me. I'm so inspired when I look at these women and I hear about them and they tell you their truths,
Yeah.
It is so inspiring for us. So not only are we trying to make sure that this is an inspirational session process or event for the persons who attend, but we are also inspired. So it's a totally inspiring experience.
The co-creators also related that there will be a surprise guest speaker with years of experience who will be featured at Saturday's event. They encourage members of the public to follow the 25 Influential Women Leaders Award for updates and ticketing information. We'll be right back with more Ignite News after these messages. Please stay with us.
We're for the brave, for tenacity. Here's to the up and at 'em types. We're for the crafters, the drafters, and the ones who clean up after. Here's to the dream makers and the risk takers, because we know what it takes. From mobility to high-speed internet to technology that makes it easy for your business. We're for brave, we're for business, and we're in this together. Bravo.
You're watching Ignite News. Thanks for staying with us. Former People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, executive member Amna Ali was laid to rest yesterday amid glowing tributes. A viewing of the body was held at her residence, followed by another viewing in Janaza, the Central Islamic Organization of Guyana, CIOG. The funeral procession then proceeded to the Edward Village, West Coast Berbice, for the final interment. Speaking at the CIOG, PNCR parliamentarian Natasha Smith-Lewis remembered Ali as a motherly figure who imparted knowledge and offered guidance.
Since Saturday to now, and more especially last night, we've heard the words used to describe her. She was loyal, she was committed, she was trustworthy, she was friendly, she nurtured many of us. She nurtured many of us. And for me today, I've said to many that it hurts because she was like my second mother.
Acknowledging the struggles of women in public office, Minister of Education Priya Manikchan described Amna Ali as a staunch reminder of the resilience and sacrifice women demonstrate while operating in their various fields. The minister made these remarks at the recently held Night of Reflection gathering at Ali's Brickdam residence ahead of the politician's funeral.
It is harder for women in public office than men. Nobody is going to tell Joe what he wore or how his hair looks, but they'll comment on the women. And like I said, it's not a complaint. I think it's a privilege, but it's a reality. For someone to have dedicated 6 decades of their life to a political party or to any institution, and to have done that at great sacrifice to her personal life, to have done that in an era when it was not easy to do, to have done that while her party was in government and while her party was in opposition, should never be treated lightly.
She highlighted that Ali made inspiring moves at a time when women were not expected in spaces outside of homemaking. She persevered and made contributions to the causes she believed in. Even in her illness and pain, she carried on, never broken and never cowed, the minister asserted.
She was hurt, but she was not broken. And that is the spirit that could never die. Amna Ali is larger than life. She can't die.
Amna Ali's life spanned decades as a member of the PNCR. She was a teacher and the PNCR's chief party scrutineer for multiple national elections. She was also a member of parliament and held the roles of chief whip, minister of government, general secretary, and executive member of the PNCR. She died last Saturday at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation after a brief illness. She was 69 years old. The Ethnic Relations Commission, ERC, is strongly condemning Jamaican dancehall artist Vibe Cartel's song, Good Like Jesus, calling it blasphemous and deeply offensive to the Christian community. This is the third warning in recent weeks from the ERC over music that offends religious or ethnic groups in Guyana. The Commission noted that Jesus Christ is not only central to Christianity, but is also respected in Islam and Hinduism, making the song especially divisive across multiple faiths. While the ERC acknowledged a right to artistic expression, it warned that such freedom must be exercised responsibly, with respect for religious and cultural values. The ERC is calling for the song to be banned from Guyanese airwaves and removed from all digital platforms accessible in the country. It also plans to engage a promoter of an upcoming concert featuring Cartel to prevent the spread of the offensive material. The Commission also addressed the recent arrest of local artist Baby Skello over a song deemed blasphemous to the Hindu faith. He has been summoned to appear before the ERC as part of an ongoing investigation. Artists Richard Singh and Vision Clark have also been summoned for the controversial track, Chinese. Travel to Guyana's hinterland has become easier and more reliable thanks to major government investments in roads, bridges, and airstrips. According to the Department of Public Information, spending jumped from $1.5 billion in 2020 to $9 billion in 2025, with projects improving access for residents, businesses, and emergency services. Key upgrades include road and bridge work in Matthews Ridge, Yurang Peru, Central Rupununi, Tiger Creek, and Oriala Siparuta. Construction has also begun on a bridge over the Quarantine River, which borders Suriname. River transport has been modernized with new ferries, speedboats, and an online booking system, Ferry Pass. Airstrips at Letem, Ituringbang, Kaichor, and others have been upgraded, boosting flight safety and reducing travel time. Local leaders say the upgrades are cutting costs, improving services, and supporting sectors like mining, tourism, and logging. Stay tuned, more Ignite news coming your way after this break.
Fuel it up and drive, Subra, 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Subra, 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyanas Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Welcome back to Ignite News. A Guyanese writer is making waves on the international literary stage. Subra Singh has won the 2025 Caribbean Commonwealth Short Story Prize for his piece, Margot's Run. Singh now advances to the final round of the competition, where he'll compete for the overall prize of £5,000, awarded for the best piece of unpublished fiction from across the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Foundation says Singh was selected from a record-breaking 7,920 entries. He's one of 5 regional winners shortlisted this year. Singh, currently based in the U.S., is pursuing a Ph.D. in English and creative writing at the University of Missouri. He holds a Master's in Fine Arts from Creative Writing from the University of Maryland and a Bachelor of Arts in English from the University of Guyana. His work has appeared in several literary journals. Singh is also a 2023 Tin House Scholar, a Lambda Literary Fellow, and a Clarion West alum. The judges praised this year's winners for tackling difficult themes and offering stories deeply rooted in their local cultures. The overall winner will be announced on June 25th, 2025. Children in Para, Region 1, now have access to electricity at night thanks to the installation of 30 solar panels in the community. This helps them study in well-lit homes for the first time. Senior Councillor Kessler Fredericks praised the initiative, noting that solar systems will ease the financial strain on families who previously relied on costly fuel for generators. The distribution is part of an ongoing effort to expand renewable energy access across Guyana's hinterland communities. According to the Department of Public Information, solar systems were also delivered to several other Region 1 villages. More received 30 panels: Santa Rosa 25, Karaburi 45, Paraquis 54, and Huridia 29. Residents say the initiatives will greatly improve their quality of life by providing a reliable power source for lighting, charging devices, and supporting schoolwork. Sheila Francis of Karaburi shared that her family would benefit immensely, especially her daughter-in-law, a teacher, who can now prepare lessons more comfortably and use electronic teaching tools. This marks the second phase of the project. The first phase was completed last year, and the new distribution targets households previously left out. Housing and Water Minister Colin Crowell, who led the exercise, described it as a promise fulfilled to the people of Region 1. More than 50 nurses were honored on Monday at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation's annual Nursing Award ceremony, held in observance of International Nurses Day 2025. This year's theme, Our Nurses, Our Future, Caring for Nurses Strengthens Economies, highlighted the vital role nurses play in strengthening both health systems and communities. The event recognized nurses for excellence in patient care, leadership, innovation, and teamwork. It brought together healthcare professionals, hospital administrators, and special guests to celebrate the dedication and compassion shown by these frontline heroes. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony praised the awardees, saying, "Without nurses and their sacrifices, we would not be able to provide the services our people need." He also commended the hospital for hosting the event, which underscores the nation's ongoing commitment to supporting its nursing workforce. According to the Ministry of Health, the hospital remains focused on uplifting its nurses, whose work is essential to improving health outcomes and building a resilient healthcare system. Ignite News will be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Ignite News on 6 at 6. Regionally, Peru's Prime Minister, Gustavo Adrianza, has resigned just hours before facing a no-confidence vote in Congress. The vote was triggered by the recent kidnapping and murder of 13 mine workers, a brutal crime that shocked the nation. Adrian Zen's resignation is a fresh setback for President Dina Boluarte, whose approval ratings have plunged amid a surge in violent crime. He was the third prime minister to serve under her administration. Under Peru's constitution, the resignation of the prime minister automatically dissolves the entire cabinet. While the president can reappoint ministers, she must first name a new prime minister. The cabinet shakeup adds to Peru's political turmoil. Just hours earlier, President Boluarte had appointed new ministers of finance, interior, and transport, now all forced to step down before even settling into their roles. In international news, in a dramatic shift in U.S. foreign policy, President Donald Trump has announced that Washington is exploring the normalization of diplomatic ties with Syria. The announcement came during a historic meeting with Syria's interim president, Ahmed al-Shara, in Riyadh, the first direct contact between the U.S. and Syrian leaders in 25 years. Trump made the statement during a summit with Gulf Cooperation Council leaders in the Saudi capital. He also called on Syria to normalize relations with Israel and sign on to the Abraham Accords. He pledged to lift all U.S. sanctions on Syria, calling it a chance for the country to make, in his words, a fresh start. Photos released by Saudi media showed Trump and al-Shara shaking hands, with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman standing alongside them. Turkish President Erdogan also joined the meeting virtually. The White House later said Trump urged al-Shara to deport Palestinians labeled as terrorists and take responsibility for ISIS detention centers in northeast Syria. The announcement has been met with celebration across Syria and praise from several Arab leaders, signaling a major realignment in the U.S. policy toward the war-torn nation. Finally, in sports, Ireland has named an exciting 14-man squad for the upcoming one-day series against the West Indies, including uncapped players Kate Carmichael, Tom Mays, and Liam McCarthy. While Mark Adair has been ruled out of the one-day series due to injury, he has been included in a separate squad for next month's 3 T20 matches against the West Indies, which will take place at Brady. These will be the West Indies' first games in Ireland since 2019. Ireland's one-day squad will be led by Captain Paul Sterling and includes Indian Premier League player Josh Little. Carmichael has impressed with the Ireland Wolves, while McCarthy and Mays will provide fresh team options. The one-day series will be held on May 21st, 23rd, and 25th, with McCarthy also staying on for the T20 series, which will be played on June 12th, 14th, and 15th in the Northwest. Ireland coach Heinrich Malan has previously guided the team to notable victories over the West Indies, including a 2-1 series win in June 2022 and a memorable T20 World Cup win later that year in Hobart. Former world champion cyclist Rohan Dennis has received a 2-year suspended sentence over a car incident that led to the death of his wife, Olympian Melissa Hoskins. Dennis pleaded guilty to aggravated endangerment after Hoskins was struck by a car he was driving during an argument outside their Adelaide home in 2023. The court heard that the couple had been fighting over kitchen renovations when Dennis tried to leave. Hoskins reportedly held on to the vehicle, which then struck her. The judge ruled Dennis was not criminally responsible for her death, but had disregarded her safety and failed in his duty to stop the vehicle once it became dangerous. Judge Ian Press called the incident deeply tragic, saying that word hardly captures the grief, anguish, and turmoil your actions caused. Outside the court, Hoskins' parents said they were relieved the case had ended and hoped the family could begin to heal. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.